It wouldn't be wrong to say that lovebirds Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens are both at the top of their careers currently. Peaking at the Paris Olympics, Biles is now the most decorated gymnast in America with 11 Olympic medals. On the other hand, Owens is in his first full season with the Chicago Bears as a safety, which also happens to be his 6th NFL season overall. Naturally, a lot is on the cards for him professionally. But what about Biles? The GOAT has just returned from the Paris Olympics and barely had a moment to rest before jumping onto the Gold Over America tour. Meanwhile, Owens, who took a break from training to watch his wife's medal-winning performances in Paris, is now back to full swing with his football duties. With such packed schedules, it's natural to wonder how and when the couple finds time for each other. Simone's sister Adria spills details on couples on the go life. Appearing on the Chris Osmond Show, Simone Biles' sister, Adria Biles, opens up on how the athletic power couple balance their personal and professional lives. Osmond opens the floor for discussion by citing, "Man, their schedule has got to be so crazy. Do they see each other a lot, like because they're going all over the place?" He further remarks being pulled left and right, as it's not just about sports. The two are also famous personalities, which comes with the additional weight of brand deals and other commitments amounting to their crazy schedule.
Man, their schedule has got to be so crazy. Do they see each other a lot? Like, because they're going all over the place, being pulled left and right, and even on top of sports, there's brand deals you're doing, there's everything in between. It's a crazy schedule.
Agreeing to this, Adria replies, "It's so chaotic." She explains that before Paris, Simone Biles ensured that she goes up every weekend to see Owens. Staying with him for the weekend, she would then fly back home for practice. While the routine was a bit tight, the couple made it happen. And now that she's got a little bit of free time, she just was there for like a week. Adria highlighted how Biles spends her breaks from hectic schedules with Jonathan.
It's so chaotic. Before Paris, she kind of was able to go up every weekend to see him, like on the weekends, and then she would fly back home for practice. Now that she's got a little bit of free time, she just was there for like a week. And then now she's about to start tour. So I don't know how that will work because there's like tour every few days and then she'll be in a new city and he has a game almost every weekend. So I don't know how that's going to work,
But naturally, the roster keeps switching every now and then. Adria cites how Simone Biles is now about to start the tour. On the other hand, Owens is also swamped with his season. So I don't know how that will work, because there's like tour every few days and she'll be in a new city and he has a game almost every weekend. Adria admitted that going forward, the two are going to be wrapped in work. Nonetheless, it's their love that will keep bringing them back to see each other. Adria remarked, "But they try to see each other as much as they can." However, amidst all this, it looks like the parting gloom seem to be hitting Simone Biles now.
He has a game almost every weekend. So I don't know how that's going to work, but they try to see each other as much as they can.
Adding in 2 Polaroid images with her husband, Simone Biles' latest Instagram story implies she might be missing Owens. "See you in a few weeks," she writes with a white heart emoji, suggesting that a meetup is soon on the cards, but it's still an arm's length away. Nonetheless, history is testament that nothing can stop Biles from cheering for her husband. Well, just recently, she flew down to Chicago where the Chicago Bears were playing the Cincinnati Bengals. Despite her leg injury flare-up from Paris, one that had her moving around in a walking boot, she showed up for her partner. Moreover, she even donned a personalized jacket that featured Owens' on-field images on it, from his time with the Green Bay Packers. What do you think of her gesture? Share your thoughts below.
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles isn't just the most decorated Olympic gymnast in U.S. history. She's the most decorated gymnast ever, period. She's earned her title as the global queen of accolades, not just with her impressive medal haul, but by redefining the sport itself. Her jaw-dropping feats have also reshaped the code of points. At the Paris Olympics, she conquered her 5th signature move, the Yurchenko double pike, with perfection, having only named it a year ago. Now, after her 3rd Olympic run, Simone is ready to say goodbye to this iconic skill, but her fans are not. On Instagram, Biles shared a serene moment as she sat gracefully seated on a vault, dressed in a white Athleta tracksuit and surrounded by a sea of white flowers. She was snapped at the World Championship Center, the very spot where she honed her skills. Her parents, Ronald and Nellie Biles, own the place, which has been her training hub for years. It's where all the magic happened, and now it's a special place filled with memories of her incredible journey. With a gentle smile playing on her lips, she posted the heartfelt caption, "Rest in peace, Yurchenko double pike," marking her farewell to the iconic move. Simone Biles' comeback was already epic, but what really stole the show was her fearless take on the Yurchenko double pike, now known as the Biles 2. This insane vault involves a backflip off the vault and 2 full rotations in a pike position before landing. This insane vault involves a backflip off the vault and 2 full rotations in a pike position before landing. No other woman has ever pulled it off in international competitions, and Biles owned it at last year's World Championships. Remember back in 2019 when Simone Biles left everyone speechless with her triple-double on the floor and that double-twisting double backflip off the beam? Both moves now proudly carry her name. But being Simone, she wasn't done rewriting gymnastics history. In 2021, she became the first woman ever to land the Yurchenko double pike in competition, raising the bar once again. Then, in 2023, after her break to conquer the twisties, she came back stronger and nailed it at the World Championships, where the vault was officially named the Biles 2. The move is so powerful that even Biles takes a step back after landing it, yet she still manages to outshine the competition, rocking that 6.4 difficulty value as only she can. At the Paris Olympics, she pulled off the YDP again, snagging her 3rd gold of the Games. But as she continued to dominate, rumors about her retirement started swirling, especially after she hinted she might step away from her signature vault. "Getting up and not having to think about doing a Yurchenko double pike is a blessing," she said, sending fans into a mix of emotions. Now with her latest post, some fans are thrilled she nailed the move one last time, while others felt a pang of sadness knowing they might never see her do it again. One fan stormed the comments, hailing Biles as the queen of both the vault and floor. The vault queen, the floor queen as well. With 2 Olympic medals in each event, Biles has both on lockdown, showcasing her unmatched talent. Another user dropped in with, "So you're retiring? OMFG, enjoy your life, Biles Owens. You've done your job," reacting to the swirling retirement rumors after Paris. But fear not, because there is also hope of her return at the LA 2028 Olympics. As she herself said, "Never say never." A fan shared a heartfelt message saying, "No! We'll miss you so much, Simone. I've watched you for years and years. You are my idol." It's wild to think her journey started at just 6 years old, and by 16, she was already grabbing her first World Championships medal. Now with 6 world all-around titles, she's undeniably marked an era of greatness, and fans are just not ready to say goodbye. But wait, there's more. Another fan jumped in with, "Gone but literally never forgotten," a nod to Simone Biles' enduring legacy. With 11 Olympic medals and 30 World Championship honors, her achievements are etched in gymnastics history forever. As one fan put it, "You really outdid yourself on this one," highlighting just how far Simone Biles has come. The Biles and 2 vault is no joke, 0 room for error, and if you mess it up, you're risking a crash landing on your neck. Last year, she needed her coach, Laurent Landy, right by her side for the Yurchenko double pike, even taking some point deductions. But this year, she nailed it solo, with Landy just cheering from the sidelines. As fans keep dropping comments like, "LOL, that's funny, love the funeral, did it, done it, goodbye, haha," on her epic goodbye pic, we're curious. What's your take on the end of Simone Biles doing the Yurchenko double pike? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's chat about it.
We already knew my gymnastics was kind of janky. Like, in training, I was having twisties already, but I'm trying to push past that. And I would literally tell my teammates, like, I'm fighting demons. I'm fighting demons right now, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. Because like, the cords were not connected. So I literally felt like I was fighting my body and my mind to do these tricks. So we're trying to do some different things in the back, and I'm like, okay, I can't do a full and off beam. Can I please go back to my double, which is way harder. But I know if I twist more, it's better for me. So then we go to vault. Vault is feeling a little bit weird in the air, and you can see it. Like the girls, we ended on floor because we started on vault out there. So we end on floor. I go to do my first pass, and you can see in the air, like you can ask the girls, it's not like my first pass is a triple double. And usually when you do it, you see my regular videos, you see 1, you see 2, you see 3. This one, it looks like I'm going like this in the air, and it doesn't feel comfortable. I have no idea where I am, but I'm twisting, like praying, land on my feet, and they're like, that looks jacked up. You can tell. All of the gymnasts in there from all of the countries are like, that's jacked up. That looks jacked up. It looks like she's never done this a day in her life, but they know it's a twisty. So people are kind of trying not to watch. We get out there and vault, and I was like, okay, it's fine. I warmed up everything. Like, it wasn't good, but I did it. And so we get out there on vault, and we have a 1-touch warm up. Go over the table, do a 1.5. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what was that? And so I'm like, it's fine. And everybody's freaking out. I don't have.
Get ready with me for Olympic trials day 1. I just woke up from a nap, and I feel so nervous at this thing.
But I had no idea she was on the shelf back here.
That is not my nigga, don't claim him. About 20 missed counts, he failed. White boy basic, she ain't potato. He don't want to warn the nigga.
So we're in 2 squads tonight. First squad starts on vault, the second starts on bars. And we're all gonna wear the same Leah depending on what squad you're in. Is my favorite. I'm gonna try winged eyeliner. I feel like I'm doing this and I have nothing to talk about. Maybe it's because I'm nervous, but what do you girlies get on here and talk about? Like, every day is the same for me, very repetitive. I'm gonna try to be doing more videos, but what the fuck do y'all wanna see? It just feels so awkward doing these. Like, if you catch me out in like real life, I'm a fun time, I'm a good time. But then I get on here and turn the camera on and I'm like, does anybody else feel the same way, or it's just me? I thought I hated blush, but I could never find a good color for me. But I finally found one, and now I'm like, I could do this. I'm gonna attempt a wing, so we'll see how this goes. Oh. I feel like that's pretty even. I swear, hotel lighting is the worst. This is my favorite. Okay, I actually do have one question. So my lips are allergic to almost every single product. They'll break out really bad. Lip stains, lipsticks, lip glosses, except for like 3 brands. The 3 are like Laneige, NYX, and Charlotte Tilbury. Sometimes Rhode. Those are the only ones I can use on my lips. And because if I use anything else, my lips like burn and like literally crack and peel off. So can somebody help me and maybe let me know what ingredient is making my lips dry out, peel, crack? Because that would be greatly appreciated. I'll finish the lips whenever we're leaving. So bye.
Don't call and visit. Simone Biles' biological mother breaks silence on her adopted parents. Shannon Biles threw a party after her daughter spectacularly returned to form at the Paris Olympics. However, there was one problem. The 27-year-old 7X Olympics gold medalist barely has a connection with her estranged mother and wasn't part of the celebration. As it turns out, Shannon is seeking forgiveness and is still coming to terms with giving up her children for adoption all those years ago. Simone Biles and her siblings, Adria, Tevin, and Ashley, had a tough start in life. In her 2021 Facebook Watch series, Simone vs. Hungry, one reason she's never been fond of cats. Luckily, their grandparents, Ronald and Nellie Biles, stepped in and adopted Simone and Adria when they were 6, while Ronald's sister Harriet took in Tevin and Ashley. Now, years later, Shannon Biles has broken her silence on the painful decision to give up her daughters to their adoptive parents, Nellie and Ronald Biles. Ronald and Nellie decided that it would be best for Simone Biles and her sister to stay away from their biological mother while she was battling addiction and working to get better. When we signed the adoption papers, it was like my dad flipped a switch on me. No communication, don't call, and don't visit. That's how it was in the beginning. 52-year-old Shannon Biles opened up about the past exclusively to Daily Mail.
How do you handle the fact that this is brought up every 4 years?
I'm over it already. I can't keep dwelling on it. Whenever she's ready, and I'm here. I want her to be able to come to me and say, okay, let's have a sit down, because there's some things I want to know. So I just have to have patience. I want to let her know that I love her. I'm very proud of her, but I'm just still waiting, I would like to sit down and talk to you and answer any questions you may have, 'cause I don't know what you've been told but, I want you to hear the real deal. I was an addict. I will always be an addict. But there's just a way that you have to learn how to stay away from people, places, and things, and change your routine, and just change your life. Live your best life. If I need to know anything, I'll call my dad. Hey, Dad, what's going on with Simone? How's everybody doing, He keeps me posted.
So you don't have like a direct number that you can even reach out to her?
I do, but I won't.
Why not?
I want her to reach out to me. She's 27 now, she's married. I would like to have been a part of that, but I just have to wait for her.
It took me 6 years before I saw my children again, Shannon added. Shannon officially signed the papers for her children to be adopted in 2003, when Biles was 6 years old. This was 3 years after Biles and her siblings were placed in foster care because of their mother's issues with addiction. Ronald Biles wanted Shannon to stay away from her children due to issues she was facing so that they were not impacted. It was hard to give up my kids, but I had to do what I had to do, she said. Shannon confessed to relentlessly arguing with her parents when they adopted her daughters. She later understood why Ronald and Nellie Biles made the right decision. I was still using, and he didn't want me coming in and out of their lives when I wasn't right, added the 52-year-old. At one point, when Biles and her siblings were living in foster care in Ohio, their grandfather came to know about it. He brought all of them to Texas, only to have them head back to their mother less than a year later. However, Shannon was unable to care for them, and her parental rights were terminated, leading to the adoption of her children. Simone Biles has rarely mentioned her biological mother in public. In fact, according to a report from the Associated Press in 2015, Biles is quick to correct anyone who mentions Shannon, her mother. The relationship between Biles and her biological mother is far from ideal, and this is something Shannon is keen to correct. I would like to make amends with Simone personally. I'm just waiting for her and Adria. I speak to Adria more than I speak to Simone. I would just ask her to forgive me, Shannon said. The fractured relationship with her daughter has meant Shannon has missed out on some of the most important moments of her daughter's life, such as her wedding to NFL star Jonathan Owens. But Shannon is keen to let the past be past and wait for Simone to take a step toward reconciliation. Shannon invited friends and neighbors to her house in Ohio to celebrate her daughter's success in Paris. Can we move forward? Don't judge me on my past. Let's move forward. I'm waiting for the opportunity, but I'm waiting on her to be able to come to me. Let's sit down. I just have to be patient, she added. Shannon is sober today and has said that she isn't the same person as before. Over the years, Shannon had racked up debt and had just $34 to her name on a prepaid card, according to a Chapter 7 bankruptcy petition filed in October 2018. Slowly, she has been able to turn around her life and since 2022 has stayed out of any trouble. She now works as a cashier at the grocery store Save-A-Lot. For Simone Biles, separation from her mother may not have been easy, but with her adopted parents taking care of her, she was able to realize her dreams. Simone Biles found the loving home that fueled her rise to gymnastics greatness. Shortly after Ronald and Nellie Biles adopted the girls, the then 6-year-old fell in love with gymnastics during a daycare field trip. Since then, her adoptive parents have stood behind her as pillars of support. It's been a long journey, but their support means the world to me, Simone Biles said in April 2024, ahead of her historic Olympic comeback. The only time Ronald and Nelly missed one of her competitions was during Tokyo 2020, thanks to COVID-19 restrictions. Fast forward to today, and Simone, now 27, is the most decorated gymnast in history, adding 3 golds and a silver to her collection in Paris, including the coveted all-around gold. She knows none of it would have been possible without Nelly and Ronald's unwavering dedication. Being separated from my biological mom, being placed in foster care before I officially got adopted by my grandparents, it just set me up for a better route at life, Biles revealed in 2021. She has often mentioned the role her adopted parents played in her success and thanked them for their support. Now, after years of estrangement, Simone Biles' biological mother hopes to one day reconnect with her daughters and seek their forgiveness and be a part of their lives. What do you think about this complex journey and Shannon Biles' wish? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This is how the crowd's shushing may have sabotaged Simone Biles' final routine. The redemption tour did not end with a golden encore for Simone Biles. By the time she entered Bercy Arena for the beam and floor exercise finals on Monday, she was drained. Mentally, physically, all of it. It's what this event does, what this sport does. The American gymnast made a rare mistake on the beam as she missed out on Olympic gold. Simone Biles appeared to complain about the crowd inside Paris's Bercy Arena after she missed out on a medal in the gymnastics beam final. Biles proceeded to fall off the beam halfway through, which prompted a number of gasps from the crowd. The American regained her composure after the fall to complete the beam routine and earn a score of 13.100. That being said, Biles was far from happy with the circumstances surrounding the fall. In fact, when she rejoined her coach and teammates at the seating area, she complained about the crowd inside Paris's Bercy Arena. Widespread reports suggest Biles accused them of making unnecessary noises as she took to the beam. Throwing her hands in the air, it appears she told them to stop shushing, before adding, "Why are they all shushing? As soon as I'm going, they're like shushing so much."
So today, you could hear some of the Android ringtones going off, the photo clickers, whatever that was. And so, you're trying to stay in your zone. And then people start cheering, and then the shushing gets louder. So really, they should be shushed because they're louder than them. I don't know. It was really weird and awkward.
USA teammate Sunisa Lee replied, "I don't know why. Are they, the Olympic gymnastics organizers, telling them to?" It appears shouts of, "Come on, Simone," were heard while she performed, which brought shush sounds from people in the audience. You can watch the events unfold below. Craig Heap, the BBC commentator who was reporting on the event, said he'd never seen Simone Biles look so angry in his life. She was not happy. "Something has gone on in the arena," he said. "Simone is not happy at all. It just goes to show she is a human being. All the other ladies in that final have made mistakes. She's not invincible." Heap's co-commentator Matt Baker clarified, "She's talking about the atmosphere. She's talking about shushing. The feeling in here is like a cauldron when the gymnasts are on. Oh my word." Some Olympic fans have taken a conspiratorial view of the balance beam final. A video that has been circulating on social media has some fans crying foul after all 4 of the athletes who failed to stay on the bar appeared to lose their footing in a similar spot on the beam. Now, they all fell in a similar spot on the beam, one supporter wrote on X. Another said, "So the best gymnasts in the world all fell on the exact same spot? Definitely not sus." "Someone has definitely tampered with the beam," said a third onlooker. A fourth joked, "Someone did witchcraft because no way all of them fell exactly on the same spot." Biles' score took an age to come through, but when it did, her total of 13.100 was not enough to finish in the top 3. She commented on the odd beam final after the event's conclusion and implied the atmosphere could have been to blame for the errors. "The beam final is always the most stressful," the 27-year-old said. "Usually we have music or background noise, whatever that may be. We do better in environments with noise going on because it feels most like practice. People start cheering and then people start shushing gets louder, but then they should be shushed because they're louder. It was really weird and awkward. We've asked several times for some music or background noise. I'm not really sure what happened there. Not our favorite. None of us liked it. Yes, it was an odd beam final."
Beam final is always the most stressful. But usually we have like music or background noise, whatever that may be. And honestly, we do better in environments when there's noise going on because it feels most like practice. So today, like, you could hear...
Eurosport commentator and former British gymnast Danuzia Francis suggested that the chosen manufacturer may have been to blame. She said, "The beam is looking terribly slippy today. Maybe they thought these girls are the best in the world and they made it smaller," she joked. The equipment
Simone
is
Biles
Gymnova.
just fired back
My
at
personal
Michaela
preference
Skinner.
as
You
a
won't believe
gymnast
what
was my
happened
least favorite.
When
These
Simone
gymnasts
Biles
may be
posted a
training on different
congratulatory
brands of
message to the
equipment.
US women's
After losing her
gymnastics team
balance at
following
the
their
end
big
of an
win on
aerial
July 30th,
series,
her
Biles
caption might have
placed
seemed a little
fifth.
surprising to folks not
Italy's
in the know.
Alice D'Amato
The tech,
deservedly
lack
won
of
gold
talent,
with a score
lazy, Olympic champions, followed by a
14.366,
string
whilst
of
China's
emojis.
Zhou
To
Yaqin
be
took
clear,
home a silver medal
after
with
the day Team USA
14.100.
had dominating
Manila
the team
Esposito
finals
of
to
Italy
clinch
picked
their
up the
first team
bronze with
gold since
14.000. Simone Biles didn't think she'd even be here a couple of years ago, will leave Paris, and perhaps her final Olympics, with 3 golds and a silver and something perhaps even more valuable: peace. "I accomplished way more than my wildest dreams, not just at this Olympics, but in the sport," the 11-time Olympic medalist said. "So I can't be mad at the performances. Competing then walking away with 4 medals. I'm not mad about it." Biles certainly didn't look mad during the awards ceremony after the floor exercise, the first one of her career at a major competition that ended with her looking up at someone else. Instead, she and good friend and bronze medalist Jordan Chilos bowed to Rebecca Andrade, the Brazilian who has spent the last 3 years as the best gymnast in the world not named Biles. "It was just the right thing to do," Biles said. "She's queen." Then the 3 black women posed together on the podium 4 days after Biles, Andrade, and Sunis Ali, who is Hmong American, stood in the same spot following the all-around. Their collective success is symbolic of a sport that is becoming more diverse and more inclusive at the highest level, led by someone who still describes herself as Simone Biles from Spring, Texas, who flips. For a long time, the flipping is what separated Biles from everyone else. Her routines are packed with so much difficulty that a wobble here or a step out of bounds there ultimately hasn't mattered. It did in what could be the final routine of her career. Bothered perhaps by a left calf injury she aggravated during qualifying last week, Biles wasn't at her best during a 75-second set that features music from pop icons Taylor Swift and Beyoncé, and the hardest tumbling passes ever done by a woman. Twice at the end of the passes that feature elements bearing her name in the sport's code of points, her feet landed on blue boundary, costing her valuable tenths and creating just enough room for Andrade's score of 14.166 to stand. When a 14.133 and the number 2, indicating she was still in second, flashed next to Biles' name, a packed arena that included NFL icon Tom Brady let out an ooh of surprise. Biles was not one of them. "I'm not very upset or anything about my performance at the Olympics," she said. "I'm happy, proud, and even more excited that it's over." Whether it's fully over, she's not saying, though Chiles may have offered a hint as they talked to reporters afterward, with Chiles leaning over and saying under her breath, "I'm going to miss you, man." So will gymnastics, the Olympics too. Biles' 11 career medals at the Olympics, 7 gold, 2 silver, 2 bronze, ties Czechoslovakia's Vera Kaslavska for the second most by a female gymnast in Olympic history. A chance at making it a dozen ended earlier on Monday when Biles fell during the beam final, finishing 5th. She was hardly the only one. 4 of the finalists came off during their routines, which were done in a quiet arena that is typically a wall of sound during competition. Not this time, after the International Gymnastics Federation had the in-house DJ hit pause during event finals, which Biles said made it really weird and awkward. The silence and intermittent shushing didn't bother Italy's Alice D'Amato, who finished off a breakout Olympics for the Italians, silver medalists in the team competition, by putting together a steady set that seemed immune to the pressure or the moment. Zhou Yaqin of China earned silver with a 14.100, just ahead of bronze medalist Manila Esposito of Italy. Biles praised D'Amato and Esposito for providing building blocks that she believes will help inspire young girls in Italy to take up the sport, It's something Biles has done during her long stay in the spotlight. She's in no hurry to make any decision on if it's time to let someone else step forward. She offered never say never when asked over the weekend if Los Angeles 2028 is a possibility. She will be 31 then, an age when most gymnasts have long since retired.
Yeah, being in a good mental spot, seeing my therapist every Thursday, it's kind of religious for me, so that's why I'm here today.
Yet considering the gap that still exists between herself and nearly everyone else in the sport, save for Andrade, who pushed Biles as hard as she's been pushed, anything is possible. That is, for later. For now, there is merely appreciation. The critics that pounced after Tokyo 2020 have gone quiet, so have whatever inner demons remained. I couldn't have asked for a better Olympic Games, a better support system, she said. Thank you, Paris. What do you think about the atmosphere during the beam final? Was it fair or distracting for the athletes?